Alright guys, we got something very special for today. Alright you guys, welcome back to Channel Anderson and welcome to today's video. We got something very special in this box. Let's jump right into it. Alright you guys, in here from NeedsWings we have some goodies. Very nice goodies. I have not looked at them yet. I've been saving it for you guys to see our first reaction to everything here. I know we got a couple of their gaskets. We'll take a look at those. They're a special rubber cord gasket. This will give a little bit of a clue right here. We need to just look at them. So let me get these open and take a look at what we got here. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and open these things up. See exactly what we got in here. I'm so excited. I've been waiting like a week plus since I got these to see exactly what these look like in here. More tape. Alright. So these are raw aluminum, just like factory. These are not paint or anything yet. But oh man, these are so sweet. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead, let's read off exactly what these are because I don't want to mess up information on these. So, sheesh, oh, these are so dope. I'm planning on painting these, so we'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, I have my phone here. Let's go ahead and discuss exactly what we got here from NeedsWings. Alright you guys, so there they are. We're on NeedsWings site right here. Tweaked intake manifolds for the M113K. See a couple sample pictures there. Usually you can order them with powder coating or raw if you want. You can also send in your core charges, etc. Basically says we start with OEM intake manifolds, that we then clean them, port them, and add the crossover tubes. 2 times of 1/8 MPT aluminum bunks for use of the boost sensor or water meth injection. Then have the manifolds coated. Like I said, if you guys choose that as an option. And I'll keep reading this for you guys here. It says, by adding the wall-dig crossover modification to the manifolds which connect the two plenums over the supercharger, we are greatly reducing the feed restrictions to each port. We see increased airflow with the reduced restriction. Typical boost pressure readings are 4 to 5 psi lower with the crossovers as the plenums can be fed from both sides between pulses. This equalizes pressure across the cylinders with less pressure being created at the lower Y pipe and plenum inlet tubes. The air temperature stays cooler. This is a win-win-win scenario. Increased airflow, reduced pressure load stress, and lower air temps. It also says these crossovers have enabled us to stack a larger crank pulley along with a smaller supercharger pulley and still keep the ECU happy once fueling has been adjusted. So this will all depend on your tune in that type of scenario, but in this case, with the tune we have from Josh, Mercedes Swap Shop, we should be totally good. It's already going to be fine with these plenums. So no modification really needed with our tune in this case. We might be able to optimize things later down the road, but in most part, these are there to increase efficiency. Now, this was something new to me. This is my first real boosted car besides my old C230 compressor. But boost is not really, you want it, but you don't want boost. You don't want over pressure. You want boost and flow, and more so you want the flow. If you can have a car with 800 horsepower that only takes 10 psi to do it because the system is flowing well enough and it's optimized enough and efficient enough, over a car that makes the same power taking like 30 psi, you want that lower psi because that is meaning your system is working efficiently and is kind of flowing properly. So kind of weird. I'm still a noob with all this, so don't take everything I say as matter of fact, but that's kind of what I'm learning is you want boost, of course, because it takes the boost to make the power, but you more so want it to be flowing properly and efficiently. And that is what these are going to help us do. So obviously we're not putting into this thing. That's a naturally aspirated M113. We got to get our CLK in here. But before I do that, I want to hit these things with, I think, a coat of black paint. So what do you guys think? I got a few options over here in the Anderson paint department. We got black, we got wrinkle black, we got some epoxy paint. Actually, maybe I should do the epoxy stuff. We got rusty metal primer, we got reds, we got blues, we got all types of stuff. aluminum finish. Obviously not going to go with that. I want to do something different. So what do you guys think? Should I do these a primer black with the epoxy? That looks really good. I thought about doing something crazy, doing the blue like the C36 valve cover. I don't know, guys. What should we do here? All right, you guys digging around in the box. We also got a bunch of stickers they threw in, so thank you. Definitely going to be running those on the car. We got our tubes here. We'll take a look at the gaskets in a second. I wanted to show you guys. This is essentially what we'll be looking at here once these are installed on the engine bay, and then we'll have those joiners connecting the two across here. And I wanted to show you guys the welds as well. Really nice work. I am no welder, but I know that welding onto cast aluminum is not the easiest, and welding aluminum takes some practice in general. So all the welds look really nice and solid, consistent beads, and you can tell everything was cleaned up really nicely inside as well with the plenums or the surge tanks, and with the pipes that they use here. So man, I'm so excited to get these on. All right, you guys, and then the other thing included is their rubber cork gaskets. And you guys know I was working on some of these myself, or actually am running a pair that I made myself in my own laser printer at work. So I was really curious to kind of learn from what they're doing here as well. And I can tell right off the bat, the material is it feels like a little more dense than what I use. They're a little stiffer, I guess, a little less spongy, but very similar from kind of what I kind of came up with. But that's the biggest difference I noticed, is just a little bit firmer material. But they look fantastic. All the cuts are super precision. You can tell for sure they're laser printed, no question. And yeah, they look really good. I'm curious to see what mine are going to look like when I pull off my surge tanks. We'll see kind of how well they held up, and be able to tell if I had any leaks anywhere, or signs of leaks. So yeah, again, great product from them to get. Anyone that I know is running a good amount of kind of horsepower and trying to hold in that, you know, boost and flow and everything, most of them are running the NeedsWings gaskets. So great thing. Thank you for sending out an extra set. Keep 2 sets, keep 1 for spare. Thank you. All right, you guys, I had to call reinforcements for my decision making. My son Maze, what do you think we should do, blue or black?
Blue.
He thinks blue. I am still torn. I kind of want to do blue too, you guys. The black is tempting just because the car is black. A lot of the engine bay is black, obviously, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of pop. Anyways, other thing I'll need to pick up is some MPT bolts for the time being, because I don't have any tire. I guess I get like vacuum fittings too, but I don't have anything as of now, so I just need to get some bolts to set in there. I do have our whole Zetronics kit that we will be running, that I think I do have some boost fittings in there or something, but we'll see what I have and see what I can plug in. But I don't know, I guess the next clip you guys will see what paint I ended up choosing. All right, you guys ready for the color reveal? Skedaw. Here we go. Went with the blue. My son voted blue. We had to follow his guide. I was torn anyway, so I think it looks pretty dope though. It'll settle in nice, and then it'll be a nice little pop for the car. The rest of the car is pretty much all black, so be a nice little pop. We'll try to figure something we could tie in with this blue hints, maybe like brake calipers or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna let it dry up. I'm gonna hit it with another coat right now. Mask on, because I'm in the closed garage pretty much. I got a couple of doors open, and I tried to heat it up in here with the space heater real quick, just so it's not freezing. But hit it with one more coat and let these dry, and after that I'll see you guys tomorrow. Anders and the painter, let's do this. Alright guys, second coat applied. I think that should be good, to be honest. I was able to lay it down pretty thick, so I will show you guys what it looks like tomorrow. There's a few flaws here and there, little stuff got caught in the paint, but I mean, it's not perfect, doesn't need to be. It looks different on camera, definitely. It's a little darker than what it's appearing on camera. It's looking pretty light on camera right now, but it's definitely different. But I'll try to color correct it to make it look what it looks like in real life. See you guys tomorrow. All right, you guys, the next morning, it's almost time to get this thing in the garage. Got to move the C36 as well, but wanted to show you. Ended up doing a third coat last night and also picked them up by the crossover tubes and sprayed kind of underneath too in the spots that I missed. But man, I actually am very happy with the blue. It turned out great. This paint is fantastic from Ace. Like, it sticks really, really well and it dries up really nice. It kind of has a good self-leveling property to it. So any spots that were kind of uneven going on, they're nice and smooth now. So super happy with it. I think it'll be a nice little pop for the engine bay. And yeah, just happy that I went with a bit of color instead of black, even though that would have looked clean too. So maybe in future we can experiment. For now though, these look pretty sweet. Let's go start up the CLK over here and get it warmed up and pull it into the garage. All right, I've been on vacation, so I haven't really been driving any of the cars, but we started up a few nights ago when my cousins were visiting. Shout out to Amit and Jay. They came out, we were checking out the cars, and we started this thing up. So let's fire it up. Ah, never gets old. All right, well, I'm gonna let this thing warm up. I'm gonna do a quick little fix on the C36 with a line that I need to replace and back it up, and we'll get this thing in the garage. Show you guys what we're working with in the engine bay for now. All right, guys, she's in the garage. Not pulling it all the way just because just want to work undercover at least for the time being. Let's see what we're working with in case you guys forgot. All right, so here it is. This is our M113K. It's an SL55 motor for those that don't know. This was swapped in by the previous owner of the car, and I don't know, I can't remember the mileage, all that stuff, for what they swapped in, but when I first picked this thing up, it needed, you know, wiring harness stuff, it needed fuel system upgraded, etc. So we went through a lot of it and took care of a lot of little things that just made this thing run that much better and be safe to, you know, kind of push. So now that we know we have a good base and all of that, we're ready to start kind of looking at what other modifications I want to pursue. And that's where this opportunity came up. So that is definitely going to be a pop in here, guys. I think it's going to look cool. But right now we have these powder coated surge tanks in here. These are like a, I forget what the actual color is, but it's like a gunmetal gray, which I like. It's subtle. And like I said, I would have been happy with black, but I think it'll be a nice little color pop for the car overall. And hey, if we don't like it, we can always just rip them off, sand them down a bit, and spray a coat of black on there. So that said, to get into this, basically pulling off our covers and then undoing our surge tanks is really not that hard. Just a ton of these longer bolts. I will set you guys up on the tripod while we're doing so. And again, I just want to thank Rob and NeedsWings for sending these out. This is super cool. It's something that I've been wanting to experiment with for a while now. And funny backstory is I contacted Rob probably years ago at this point about maybe collabing or working on something with the silver C55, but ended up not going down the route that I was going to anyways. I think what I was contacting him about initially. So it just kind of, you know, went our ways. And years later with the M113K in possession now, I immediately thought of Rob and NeedsWings of, hey, it'd be awesome to work with them since I know they make a ton of cool stuff for the 113Ks. And in general, they're just kind of one of those companies that's in our niche that's lasted the test of time, and it's a company I want to support. So yeah, definitely if you guys have a chance to pick up anything from them, it's awesome because they have all of these cool, you know, aftermarket supplies, but they also have really great prices on just like OEM parts too. If you guys need anything, it's definitely a trustworthy, reliable place to go that you know you're going to get a pretty good price for all the pieces you get. So that said, I think it is time to get to work, guys. So let me set you guys up on the tripod and we'll kind of talk through it as we take our pieces off here. And a quick view for what's going on out here in the driveway. Never gets old, guys. Never gets old, and I always, every day, understand how blessed I am to have all these things very grateful, very, very grateful. Happy New Year's to you guys, by the way. It's about to be New Year's for us today. All right, guys, we are ready to get this thing undone and put on our new tweaked surge tanks. Just went and picked up a few MBT fittings, by the way, so we won't be frustrated after we finish this and don't have anything to plug those up with. I got a few vacuum ports and then just a few plugs. We'll decide what we're gonna throw in here after we get this off. But I think that's about it. I'm gonna start pulling everything off and show you guys everything as we go. If I need to, I will speed you guys up, but for the most part, shouldn't be too long. All right, hold it off as one. I'm thinking about swapping out our intake setup, by the way. We'll probably have a video upcoming on that. I'm gonna measure my throttle body right now so I can get the proper silicone coupling. So that's that, but anyways, set this to the side for now. Everything looks pretty good on the back end. We did a lot of little things back there, fittings and throttle body gasket, all this stuff. So let me go ahead and start zipping these off. These are P30s, I believe. And only thing special, don't forget the ones down here in the back. They're a little easy to miss, I guess. But anyways, let's get to it. Alright guys, and moment of truth to see our gaskets. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. To get the surge tanks out, basically just pop them out like that. But anyways, oh, oh boy. I mean, I think they're sealing, to be honest, but the outside of them got absolutely destroyed. I could see this actually when I was looking from the sides, like messing with the PCV lines one day. I could tell that it was kind of messing up the outside of them, but I don't see any leaks. So it looks like where they were supposed to stay solid, they did, but definitely not ideal from what we can see here. So guys, this is why I needed to test mine. I was not going to put mine for sale without testing them. This is why. So yeah, NeedsWings gaskets are definitely a worthwhile upgrade that we are doing right now with these tweaked surge tanks. So hopefully that's proof for you guys. I'm not out here to just try to make money off of you guys in any ways. I was not going to start charging people 20 bucks for a set or 30 bucks for a set when I hadn't even tested them in reality. Not my MO. That's why even with like the 3D emblems that I sold for the engine covers, I was not going to put them for sale until I had done a ton of testing and making sure they were good to go. And even then, I sold them for like 10 bucks. So, yeah, that is a good thing we are doing this. It's one of the major things I was really wanting to check out and curious of. So that's a great thing to be changing while we're in here. Yeah, rubber core gaskets from NeedsWings is a fantastic deal. I think they're like 30 or 40 bucks for the set. Go buy them, guys, for sure. Go buy them. So that said though, guys, I don't think they were leaking at all, which is cool. I mean, they looked crazy, but I don't think they were leaking at all. And you can see over here on the engine side of things, I don't see any signs of leakage anywhere. So yeah, they didn't hold up that great as far as like the outside material. I don't know if that would be a common thing anyways with cork gasket, but yeah, they at least were sealing. I wasn't getting any crazy leaks. I'm sure I would have known for sure if I was getting crazy boost leaks from there or vacuum leaks. So anyways, get the surface cleaned up, get the other one off, and move on. All right, you guys, other side though, not so fortunate. Looks like we got a very apparent leak right there. The rest of them look okay. And there was a little bit of oil residue right here as well. So yeah, most likely we had a leak on this side. So again, good to be changing these. All right, you guys, so this set I'm actually going to be keeping, and I'm going to be sending NeedsWings back a set in exchange for the ones they sent out to me. So they hooked it up, so the least I could do is at least send a set back. I don't need 2 extra sets, so I'll keep the powder coated ones and I'll clean these ones up and send them over to them. We got to do something with this supercharger, guys. I don't know what we're doing yet or what car it's going to go on to, but it's got to be something. Could be the SUV, could be the silver. or it could be the red. We don't know yet, but I know I got to put it on something. So anyways, progress continues. All I got to do is get this cleaned up. You guys don't really see that. Clean this up and we'll prep our new tweaked surge tanks to go on. All right, you guys, got both sides wiped down with acetone so they're all clean. If you guys remember when I first did these surge tanks, somebody had siliconed them on and it took forever to get everything clean. So don't do that. And then you guys can also see, and just pointing out, that coolant fitting that I've made a few videos on now and just made one recently on the C36. If you guys have not checked that on your car, please do. There's a chance it is shot and needs to get replaced. But anyways, these are good to go. Next up, I'm going to prep these, and we have our gaskets over here. I think NeedsWings does recommend, and typically for rubber cork gaskets, it's a recommendation to spray on our 3M adhesive. So I'll probably be doing so just to one side to stick them down onto the surface and get them lined up pretty good. I don't know why these things are stuck in here. Here we go. But yeah, I'm going to basically 3M stick wherever that stuff is, somewhere around the garage. Here it is, the Super 77. This stuff is not the greatest by any means for what it's intended to do, but for stuff like this, it's actually really good. Pretty sticky stuff. I have used it for a few like fabric interior stuff, but there's other better stuff out there for that. But for this, it works great. So basically just a light spray on one side, and that just allows it to tack down onto your surface here so that they don't budge while you're placing the surge tanks down. So I'm excited, guys. We got to get this going so I can get these up and running. All right, you guys, we got one of the surge tanks all prepped and ready. This is for the passenger side. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the 3M adhesive on the gasket, set it down, and we'll start bolting this thing up. All right, guys, I wanted to show you this as well before moving on. There are the gaskets, and the fit is tremendous. All the cutouts for the holes are dead on, and they just fit really well. It's one of the trickiest parts about making these gaskets, so all due respect to NeedsWings, because trust me, I went through a process of getting them right for the ones that I made. I just wish they were symmetrical. They're not. You have to do a different one for each side because of, you know, the different indentation grooves, and the backs are shaped a little bit differently. The triangles for the center sections are kind of different, and the overall length of them is a little bit different for each side. So yeah, I wish they were identical, but they're not, so it definitely takes some precision to get them perfectly right. But these look nice and solid, and excited to try them out. That is on there. Does not take much. Be light with it, and just let it tack up for about 30 seconds to a minute before you set it down. This should be pretty much good to go now. So make sure you got the correct ends so you don't set it down and have to peel it back up. That should be on there pretty good. Let's go ahead and set down our surge tank. Made ourselves a little tray of all of our bolts out of some foam I had left around from Creative Steel. Thank you, Creative Steel. Okay, to get this in, basically try to plop it into the couplers and then just slide it on. So it's right. Yes, we are on. Alright, now this part I'm not quite sure what the best method is, but I'm going to guess our couplers with a little bit of help of like a silicone spray or something. If I slide them onto one side, put all of the clamps on, they will have room to be put on. Otherwise, if you try to put both of these things on, try to put these on afterwards, I don't think it's going to work. So I don't know for sure, it's the first time doing this, but I think that's what needs to take place. So I'm going to get this bolted on, and then I will slide these on before trying to get the driver's side on. Alright guys, and for tighten the bolts, basically they instruct hand tight from the center out, and then 5 foot-pounds from the center out, and a final pass of 10 foot-pounds from the center out. So be gentle, it does not take a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and follow their steps now. Alright guys, and before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and throw on our little plug for passenger side, basically MPT fitting with a little bit of Teflon tape. Okay, woo, we're back. Alright, that is done. You really got to be careful. This Harbor Freight 1/4 inch one is so gentle when it makes its click. You really gotta like be patient and feel it out. Alright guys, I'm switching to the big gun. This goes to 10 foot-pounds. It is too hard to tell with the 10 foot-pounds on that thing, so switching to this. Whew. Oh, that's a back workout, guys. I need to raise the car up. Sheesh. Alright, that side's done. Alright guys, well before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and put our couplers on there in the middle before I forget and start installing the other one. But so far, I think it looks pretty good. Definitely would bring it out once I'm able to redo this thing and paint it a nice like silver finish, or just get it, I would love to get it like what's it called, hydroblasted or ice blasted, just to bring the aluminum back to a nice fresh finish. I think that would be perfect. The silver valve covers, I mean, they work with it, it's clean. I do think I like the black valve covers the most out of the ones I've done, so maybe someday when I have these off again I will do so. But I did want to point out we do have one matching thing right now. Because of my gaskets, it's almost the same exact blue, so subtle matching touch. Alright you guys, next one going on. And for those fittings or the couplers, I just put a little bit of dielectric grease, slid them all the way over to the one side, and don't let me forget, actually I gotta put my clamps on, and then let's fit this one up. Oh, I didn't even have to go to the store to get those fittings. They were already included. Thank you, NeedsWings. Should have looked. Okay, those are good. Should be ready to set this down. And actually, might as well put the MPT fitting outside of the car now. Okay, fitting is on there, plugged up. This is ready to go in. Alright you guys, they are officially on. All I gotta do is cinch down our coupler clamps. I gotta do a little bit of touch up right there because I got this thing stuck on here before I put the dielectric grease, and the little nozzle that I was using to pry in there chipped this a little bit, so that's easy. I can touch that up. But yeah, all squared away, everything fits nicely, everything's exactly where it should be. So just got to tighten these down like I said. I'll touch it up real quick and then we'll throw our air boxes back in and start this thing up. And there she is. Now would I label this as the coolest color setup? Probably not, but it's fun. I would label it as fun, and I let my son pick it, so it's special. Anyways, if you wanted to go for the entirely menacing look, then probably a black or gray would have been the way to go. But hey, we're having fun, still looks cool, just maybe not as cool as keeping it, you know, the all black thing. But anyways, this is awesome. This is done. It's all good to go. Everything is tightened down. We got our fresh new gaskets, which is cool based on, you know, the one leak that we saw. But anyways, it is time. Let's go ahead and start it up. Also wanted to confirm hood clearance, so we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Alright guys, seems to be running smooth. Nothing else really to be expected. It is now dark outside, though it gets dark early here, so I think I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow so we can go for a quick drive before we close out the video. See you in the morning. Alright you guys, good morning. It is time. Happy New Year to all of you officially. But let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive. I won't lie to you guys, I cheated a bit last night. I took it out for a drive before taking you guys with me, and it feels fantastic, so I'm excited to go out with you guys right now. Here's a view of things, by the way, in the daylight. I think it looks pretty good, actually. I would love if I could get the airbox surrounding in carbon. I don't know, I know there's like the hydro dip stuff, but otherwise maybe like a black or something. I could spray these obviously any color I want. So I feel like that would look good. A black surrounding with the kind of powder blue, Carlson blue in the middle there. Wouldn't be too shabby. Alright guys, cold start and let's get on the road. Alright you guys, got the GoPro out. We are officially on the road, letting the car warm up right now. But I will tell you guys, my initial impressions last night from my quick blip around the neighborhood was the car feels smoother for sure. And I didn't know if it was like placebo at first, but after talking with a few others that have ran these, no, it seems like that is legit the case. Just smooths things out and makes the car feel just smooth. I don't know how else to describe it. So that's my first initial impression. And then once I got on the power, as you guys will see once this thing is warmed up, this thing is a rocket ship. It already was, but it's even more so now. Talking with Josh, Mercedes Swap Shop, we should have unlocked around 15 horsepower, give or take, with this new surge tank setup. So also getting rid of that little vacuum leak from my first attempt at making gaskets on my own. That will also help things, obviously. So I'll catch you guys once we're warmed up here and can do a little bit of ripping around. She's warm. Let's go find some safe spots to do a little bit of funness. Man, it feels so good. This car, you guys, every time I drive it, I'm still not used to it all the way. Like I'm more and more comfortable with driving it and knowing how to control it, but every single time my heart and my stomach just start beating. My stomach gets butterflies, my heart and my chest is just like, whoo, it gives you that adrenaline. Way different than any of my other cars. So what a blast. To be honest, and I've talked about this before, I'll keep saying it, I need a runway. I don't, we don't need roads. Like, we need a runway. It's insane. I need a proper like stretch, like a mile, a drag strip, something to actually dig into this car. Let's try in second. Bananas. What do you even call this? What do people do with cars this fast? This does not make sense. It's so crazy. All right, you guys. Well, I think that paints a picture of just how quick this car is. I definitely can tell the difference with the NeedsWings tweaked surge tanks on there. And man, I am just really happy with this car and how it's feeling, how it's performing. Amazing. All right, you guys. Well, man, that was a good way to get some adrenaline pumping early on in the day. I'm not kidding you guys. I got butterflies every time after I go rip this thing around. It's so much fun and so scary in the best way, but oh man. All right, finishing this up, huge thank you to Rob and NeedsWings again. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for all you're doing for these platforms, for Crossfires, for the 112Ks, for the 113Ks, and Benzes in general. Really appreciate you and the companies out there that are pushing the limits of our niche community. So thank you. These are absolutely fantastic. If you guys are considering doing this upgrade, I would give it a huge thumbs up, double thumbs up if I could and wasn't holding the camera. It is amazing. They feel fantastic and I'm just super happy to have them on now. And I think it looks awesome. I think we did a good job with our color selection thanks to my son. And not much else to say. Hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Happy New Year again to all of you guys. Wish you all health, wealth, success in your 2024s, and cheers to some more car adventures. Thank you again. See you on the next one. Peace.